Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
It goes to my early history before I was ever a YouTuber, all the way through the early days, mid-course, and all the way up to almost present day. It stopped about earlier on in 2024. Why did you decide to do such a long documentary, particularly on me, when your previous documentaries had always been much shorter than me?
Well, I mean, it's a timeline, right? So
New Age of Heroes.
it really reflects the time a person is notable. And let me reference, let's say, the Queen's documentary, right, video.
Sure.
Queen really he has this a really lengthy history, right? But he really only became relevant in the locale space in the past maybe 8 years. You have been causing a bit of mayhem since 2003, 2001. So it was really because there was just so much stuff to cover, and people people still wanted more. I guess, but yeah, it was just because there was so much stuff.
Some people, I'm gonna be honest with you, some people have been nitpicky about certain parts of the doc. For example, some people about the PC. All right, this PC where this guy Mighty Furtado built me this PC, and when I arrived, it was partially not working as intended or as promised. And we got into a big stuff about it publicly, about the cost and everything. And a lot of people were like, why was that such a big deal? It's just a PC. And I think, at least, all right, from your perspective, just to ask you, why do you feel that was a key part of the story? This one situation about the PC that you even had him on and interviewed him specifically.
It was just another example of how you slide with a fan, right? It was just another and it was someone that I could interview, right? It was someone that that is still accessible to this day, that can tell their story, and that is really bring a voice to all people who really, slide it over the years. It was just one example, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that totally does make sense, because listen, when I was watching this thing, I was publicly admitting, yeah, I made tons of mistakes, and the problem was in my early days, I had a temper, and I basically would act like I could do no wrong, right? So if someone criticized me, instead of listening, I'd immediately shut it off, and I'd be like, oh no, I know better than you, I'm the big shot, I'm the big YouTuber, I'm the one who has a successful business, how dare you even say that I'm doing something wrong, and it really hurt me, that people would do that, and then over the years, I definitely learned to mellow out, and now at least people that people think that I can do it. And I'm not sure to reach out to every person but particularly with this PC situation, this was one of the first times in my history that this was someone who had been an outspoken supporter of mine. Like you had said, they built a fan site for me. And when this thing showed up, I really did feel like it was a over. And quite honestly, I probably didn't know about it. Probably got bothered by it. And then I started talking about it, and then I misspeak, because what actually ended up happening is in the react to your documentary, someone had sent me the original video where I had never brought this up. I played it live on the stream, and in that original video, I had said, this PC is $1,600. Like, I outright said that, and that was correct. Confirmed it was a $1,600 PC. But because I'm so stupid, right, I can't let it go, and I hyperfixate on it, and this guy keeps talking about it, I keep talking about it, the narrative changes to it's $3,000. I don't even know how that happened. Like, I don't even know where that confusion happened, that the number got inflated. So, it's right that you call me out on that, and I'm glad that you did. But, you know, when there's certain things in the documentary that were kind of hyper-focused on those moments, some people were like, oh, I wonder why, particularly this or that was such a long segment. Like, the big one that people actually want me to ask you about is when we started talking about YouTube. Because people are like, it seems out of place. No one really thought that the YouTuber thing was a big deal. What was your methodology for the YouTuber segment? How did that come about?
Well, Phil, you're like, this is a very good question. You're adding a lot, so I guess I have
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. So the $3,000, I believe, came from a comment, and Mighty Furtado, I'm pretty sure, has that comment on his Twitter that where you tweeted that it was $3,000, like you said, right? The VTuber segment too was kind of like to show you like how you are still notable even like today, because VTubers are like, I guess, uniquely more recent. You know what I mean? They're a very unique form of content, yet we still talk about it. And surprisingly, that was like one of the more unique segments of the video was the YouTuber segment. So I think it was a good idea to have to do. It was just like a bit of fun, even though it was more like okay. I think it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it took me for a loop. There's things in your documentary I didn't know about. Like, I had no idea that YouTubers had kind of a fixation on. I didn't know about the search engine to search all my videos for keywords and find how many times I said something. That's so wild. But trackers actually out of their way to fish the transcripts for certain words and things. Well, I mean, that must have been a tremendous help for you with the documentary, right?
Yeah, no, it was great. You know, it's a really nice tool. You know what I mean? Like, I like that, yeah.
Okay, so basically, I just wanted to get I just wanted to get my documentary stuff up front before I talk to you about your own, you know, stuff going on. I just want to let you know, I have absolutely no idea whatsoever. I really don't have much of an issue with the documentary. Things here and there that were slightly off. We talked day one, we talked a little bit about it, but I just don't know one particular thing. Nothing there was big. Everything there was I was expecting, and quite frankly, since I knew I'm not one particular thing. Nothing there was big. Everything there I was expecting, and quite frankly, since I knew this was coming, I was always planning to fess up the WWE Champion's account when I was live reacting to the documentary. I knew you were going to cover it, so again, there was no way I was going to be able to, like, you know, lie about it and reason my way out of it. You were going to pin me to the wall on it, right? So that's why I did a documentary. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know, like the thing is with that is, it was kind of like an open secret where everyone knew that you were that account, right? Pretty much everyone was talking. Like, oh yeah, like even I knew. Like my personal belief was you were always like down from the Raptors. And so for you to admit it, I'm like, okay, well, at least things been forwarded and focusing something else. I think it's, I guess, cool for the art, if that was the best.
Right. In a lot of ways, it's cathartic. It allowed me to see all my problems, things that I've done wrong, and to mess up to them and apologize. And to let my audience know that this isn't who I want to be. This is crazy. How many people would say that there's a 4-hour documentary made about them on the internet, and at any moment you could open it up and see all the things you messed up in the last, 16 to 20 years of your life, right? But it was, I feel like the way you did it, because the way you do your documentaries, it's not malicious, and that's a good thing, I feel, and I respect you for that. There's other documentarians out there, they're literally going for the jugular, they're trying to make you look like you're the villain for documentary. I don't think you did that. I respect you for that. And also, I'll say this, I have some documentarians who, like, do the documentary, they want to create an endless speed of the content, right? And I'm gonna call someone out, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, and I'd like to have your opinion on it. So Turkey Tom did a documentary about me late last year, okay? And it was called 10 Years of Failure. And of course, I understood that title, but that's not the problem. The problem with that came out is that you want to interview him. Come to find out that he get me on the Loud House podcast. He even said publicly, oh, it's going to be a milk filled up content. It's get more out. That, I'm not.
What? I mean, Bill, I don't know where to start. Like, I feel like that title is accurate too. What was incorrect about Tom's video?
Oh, nothing. I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with the video at all. I'm saying the fact that his intention was to try to get my attention, to milk more content, and to basically turn me into a source of revenue. That's what he was basically saying he was trying to do, and that's what I was doing. Similar to Seinfeld, where I had no issue with what do. It's the attempts to get tons of money and content out of someone after the fact, when that was never really part of the upfront agreement. That's where I am. And I don't think that was an attempt here with this documentary at all.
Well, I mean, I think it's fine. Like, I don't know really what you're doing because I feel you kind of do the same. Like, you keep the drama rolling, and that's a lot. That's like, I think, smart business. I really think that Jeff is not like worse now, but I think on Tom's side, that if I was Tom, I would like do the same. But I think even with like the Craig stuff, like, you brought him down just to like insult him, and that is like drama too. You kept that kind of going the same way. Is that
Craig? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, to be honest, I didn't that. Okay, I really didn't. Like, I thought what was going to happen was I was going to apologize to him for lying on his show, and he was going to apologize for the follow-up where he basically made a lot of money for my detractors, and we were going to be cool. And that's not what happened. I mean, what happened, right? I had no interest in insulting the guy or anything. I mean, he told me to go fuck myself in that interview when I was being cordial. You know, I was just asking him questions, pressing him on some things I thought were unfair, and he's the one who escalated it first, okay? But in your case, like you said, you're not that kind of person who's going to be trying to escalate. You're not going to continuously make that content. I mean, at this point, you're probably on to the next 5 projects, right?
Well, that's like the difference. I don't think like I don't see that as an issue to try to escalate. I think the drama kind of keeps like the internet alive. I mean, you yourself are like getting more into like the drama sphere, which I think is good for your channel. And I also like, I don't know, Phil. I just don't understand. I think you kind of like see things.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you know, I don't think that we're ever going to see eye to eye on everything, right? But you know, I just want to let you know, I don't have any information at all. I think it was a fair documentary. I think it actually because I mess up the stuff that I had done, and you know, thank you for being fair is what I want to say up front. Okay, now moving on, because I'd like to ask you about all kinds of stuff. Do you have anything you'd like to ask about the documentary?
Because for the words of multiple people, and I have no reason to really distrust everything as opposed to you. Right? I believe I read what was it? I saw your entire reaction, and you also admitted that you did not contact the other part of Project 7, right? So it was a lie. I did find that it was, in fact, a lie.
Yeah, I think you spoke on respect the fact.
Yeah. Because the whole thing, to get context, it was, you're like, hey, reach out to them, like, and offer them money, and you told them, okay, I'll reach out to them, and then they said no, and then you came back with this, and no, this is why, and then, Rambo, right, contacted me, he's like, hey, so why you demand the money? Oh, money, no one ever told us, so it was also, like,
it was, you're right, it was basically a situation where I was making and I had absolutely no idea that those guys would want to. And if they actually want the money, I would have given it to them. We didn't have the conversation, and that's my fault. 100%. I should have reached out to them. I should have extended the, however you say, the olive branch or whatever, said, listen, you guys say you don't want to do it, but is it the money? And I didn't do that. And for me, I took them at their original word. And then later on, when John asked me, hey, did you offer the money? And I said, well, they don't want money. That was based on previous discussion months and months prior. That was not based on any current information. So you're right. You know, you call me out on stuff like this in the documentary, and rightfully so. That's the kind of stuff that I get you to get better at. And I've said this publicly now. Moving forward, if I ever do anything like Project 7 or anything like that ever again, even if it's with a close friend, I'm going to call the contract up front. That way, there's no misconceptions about who wants what out of it, what we want out of it, and that way, no one's got like, you know, feeling like they were misused or mistreated or not. So, okay, fair enough. I think that was an answer. Here's a question. Okay, here's a question. For June, so a lot of Phil's early rough play style was due to drinking, and it's pretty funny. He had been falling out with his friends publicly. He begs for money. He blames everything on himself. He's tried to correct this. Tons of YouTubers and viewers spend their money on supercars, drugs, gambling, on levels that would put Phil to shame. The big lesson for Phil to work on is honesty, his money management, and regaining some level of privacy, and trying not to forget that lesson at the time. Do you think that Phil deserves the amount of A-log that he gets? And do you think that he still deserves to be on the loud tower? The detractors are some worse than Phil at this point.
So this is all just like, I guess, my opinion. I've never been that like, really going out of his way to do something like crazy or whatever, but you know, I guess it does really cover entertainment. I don't know, right? I wouldn't do it. I'm not a fan of it, but the low calorie thing, yeah, like, I guess what makes the low calorie consistency and behavior. And I can see, like, that you are still there. I think also you're always somehow going to, like, be on the platform one way or another, but you are, I think, cemented there.
I think people first hear the word politics, and is it a negative association? Of course, right? But it's not like something you control. I wish there wasn't one, but there's always going to be these people talking. There's always going to be these people calling me out and bringing me up to try to elicit a reaction. And that's the reason I'm right? You do something against that reaction, and then you laugh at it. So, even though I feel like perhaps a turnaround now to some extent, I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of that stigma personally. I don't know how on earth with this crazy community of people who've been after me, right, for so long, and about me overnight, that's not going to happen. To some extent, I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you just have such a history, right?
Right.
To shake that, you like to shake all that, and like people. I just thought I don't know how you do it. Frankly, even then, like I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of like stuff there.
Yeah. And it's tough. You know, people tell me, they'll ask me, I'm doing that for years. And every day, you know, you're going to go on the internet, someone's going to be helping your ass about, you know, playing. Listen, you know what it is? I just get an ego. I've been doing it for so long, it's kind of like I get desensitized. Like, I know people are going to talk shit about me every day, no matter what I do. So why do I even care anymore, right? And I used to react completely differently. As you saw in the own documentary, I would get so angry about what everyone said and rage against it, and that just fueled more of it. Today, it's just like, it's just another day. You know, my detractors, I'll lean into them now. I'll expose them on my stream. I'll have a good laugh about it instead of getting so butthurt about it.
Yeah, like, I guess desensitization, I guess is what you call it, right? It's like, you're exposed to it so much, it's like, whatever, kind of deal.
Exactly. Just ask this question. This is a direct follow-up to a question that I asked Craig last week during my interview. I asked Craig, when you were preparing for your interview with him, who did you talk to? Did you only talk to my detractors, or did you also talk to fans and positive people? This person is asking you, when you were researching DSP, did you interview an equal number of both critics and fans? Like, what was your methodology?
My methodology was to, like, I guess how I'm approaching these videos currently is there's a lot of people that, like, dislike you, and I feel like some of them are kind of, like, crazy, whatever, and a lot of them have, like, genuine, like, the other, like, section, you have, like, genuine reasons to dislike you, directly side of them one way or another, and the insane ones, they're not, they didn't exist in college, but they're very loud, and the people who have, like, they get mixed in, right? So people who have, like, general, like, criticisms of, like, you know, you directly, you know, doing something not favorable to them, I try to reach out to those people, so they can be like reached to a general audience like better. Like if I'm reviewing someone who just like hates you and like wants to kill you, I don't think that's gonna reach a general audience. But if I reach out to someone, like let's say the PC thing, I think that's a bit more tangible and such. But as for the question, I reached out to as many fans as I could. They felt like a lot of them were like afraid and wanted to be anonymous. Because I do get some harassment and stuff. But I think it was like for quote unquote detractors and like any moniker you want to call them, and about 3 or 2 fans that I spoke to. Like the interview in the video.
Yeah. Just because it might be watching people on screen, they've been harassed, it's pretty ridiculous. The ruin of the one part is how did that ruin? I don't even know that that's going on. So I'm not shocked that my fans were actually legitimately afraid of speaking up. Like they don't want to put themselves into the line of fire and to hide and people in any capacity. It's something that I said last week. Like of course, Craig, no one stepped up to say that they wanted to talk about me positively because they don't want to be attacked. It's always going to be the negative and toxic person who wants to speak out first. Like that's the nature of the game. Right? And you have to understand it. At least in this case, I say this publicly, I feel like because you spoke to me on certain issues, not to say that you believed all my answers, right? Some of them I was outright lying. But you spoke to them. You did make an talk, fans who will. And I think that documentary is like someone who literally just talked to the traffic, regurgitated the same memes. I think that's the best thing. Everyone starts on this year. Only the tractor shows that I watch is 2D screen.
Our mom has names and scripts, scrub away shitty message, even from brow ones. It ain't my dad's razor. This green ball uses trap hairs for my face, which turns him into my shade.
Here we are.
Yeah,
Here we are. What is it about chat that bothers you? What is it about the chat that bothers you? Because like I would like to make it a more hospitable environment.
Am I quiet now?
Oh my goodness! No, you're fine. I edited your microphones. I was just wondering, like.
I basically borderline deep throated my mic.
Yeah. What do I need to be on the lookout for with the hotspots?
And note, chat, I did not block most of you. A few I have had to though.
What did they do?
Be on the lookout for your chat so you make sure they're not.
No, but
What?
we were asking you if there's anything we should look out for here in chat, if it's like overly toxic. Like what?
Anything that drops my personal information.
Absolutely.
Yes, that dude, I actually showed up.
I was.
My preferred name is not Low Eyes On, by the way.
Oh, that's a very good stuff. I've seen Jack saying it.
Charlie Klein, dude.
No, but you said your actual name is based
Yeah. You said only your friends, and now we're chill,
No, but I think you're spending way too much
Areola 748, you.
You're spending a little too much time searching the
Yeah.
here, bro. I think you should put down the phone. I'm telling you.
Sleeping Lemur, especially you.
No, but don't worry about these haters.
Yeah, I just wanted to call out a few people on stream, and it'll be archived in Cousin David's channel.
Yeah, Cousin David's great for that.
Cousin David, the GOAT.
Susan Wild knows how important affordable health care is. That's why Susan worked hard to lower insulin prices for seniors and cap prescription drug costs. It's why she worked with Republicans to expand veterans' care. Susan Wild delivers for us.
My plan is to create a city that people can dream about.
The universe is change.
There's still so much to accomplish. But is there time?
Bingo.
Are you playing like
Rated R.
Are you playing Magneto and still doing early 2000s combos like this?
What am I? So, what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it?
Or maybe you watch your favorite streamer do it wrong.
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
By the way, Marty, if I really was committing a crime, which I'm not,
Oh boy, my friends, we got a lot to cover today, because I've been going for about a week, and Cyrax is just doing Cyrax things, and it's as batshit insane as it usually is. So we're gonna take it back a week to when Marty got him. Marty finally got Cyrax. He proved that Cyrax was out here breaking the law, and Cyrax wasn't too happy about it. Now you see, I don't know if it was a few years ago. Actually, no, it wasn't. I think it was literally just like the day this was recorded. Cyrax went out with a friend of his, and they decided it would be a really good idea to take some pictures on these old train tracks and on these old abandoned trains. And little did Cyrax know, that's not legal in the state of Ohio. So you may be wondering, how do we know Cyrax was gone that day? How do we know Cyrax was how do we know it was just then and there? Well, firstly, as you'll see, he's wearing the same thing you see in the pictures. And secondly, Marty, I remember because I was sitting here, I was playing some Modern Warfare 2. I was not having a good time because this game is not treating me well at all. And I was listening to Marty's stream, and Marty was determined to get a knock and a cock at Cyrax's house. If you're wondering what that is, Marty was sending a bunch of guys from Grindr over there, and then when Cyrax answered the door, they would have their bird out in full display for Cyrax to see. Well, he sent a guy, and sadly, Sally was the one who got that day, but the guy relayed to Marty over the phone that he saw a little weird dude leaving the scene right before he got there. So, yeah, that's where Cyrax went that day. And now, is this something that really is going to get Cyrax in some deep water and shit like that? Absolutely not. It's a misdemeanor if they even gave a fuck about it, which they don't. But as you're about to see, even a little thing like this, just to try to garner Cyrax's attention, works every single fucking time. And so here we are now with Cyrax about to go confront Marty, and just enjoy what happens.
No, me.
So, what do you want to do about it? What do you want to do about it?
You wouldn't have.
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
By the way, Marty, if I really was committing a crime, which I'm not.
What?
No, I'm not, bro.
Right
Then
here.
if I am, why are there hundreds of thousands of fucking channels dedicated to exploring abandoned shit the same way I did? Look it up,
They're not in Ohio.
Fuck your mom and your dad! Fuck your whole life! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
They're not in Ohio.
Jesus, you see how easy it is to trigger the little fella? I mean, if you've ever listened to a Cyrax video before, you know he loves to claim, especially towards Marty, that I own you, you're my bitch, all this shit. And you're gonna hear him do that a lot in this video, most likely. But it's so funny because it couldn't be more different than that. Cyrax here, he likes to say things a lot that apply to him and throw them at other people. But when he does this, it just shows how much Marty's got him on a fucking string, like a puppet, just stringing him along, and he always falls for it every time, without fail. Marty seemingly always gets his man, and 10 times out of 10, that man is Cyrax.
None of those congratulations are mine. One's railroads. One's...
Boy,
Hey.
hey, fuck my cock. You ain't shit without me. No, I think
You're going to jail, Cyrax.
you hear me? I own your ass.
You're going to jail.
You wouldn't be shit
You're going to jail, Cyrax. You're going to jail.
Please announce the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency. What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign. Securing the borders for foreign policy. Now that the president is putting in place. Breaking news the FBI has executed an unprecedented search warrant. President Donald Trump, the former president, has both sides of the political aisle up in arms.
Dangerous and unstable moment in American history.
The Justice Department has just indicted former President Donald Trump.
For 7 years, they hated him, they targeted him, they hunted him.
This is the epitome of the abuse of the prosecutorial power. It's a political decision.
I never thought anything like this would happen in America. The only crime that I've committed is to foolishly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must be pushing change. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country, and we will make America great again. America will always rise to every challenge and overcome every danger.
Donald Trump seems to always get stronger with challenge. These types of things, I think, give him strength.
When I'm re-elected, I will totally obliterate the deep state. As long as we have pride in our beliefs, courage in our convictions, and faith in our God, then we will not fail.
These mushrooms make you feel better. Like, a lot better. These mushrooms make you feel better by keeping you calm and helping you focus. They keep you stress-free, but sharp enough to get things done. These mushrooms help reduce bloat and improve your digestion, so you can trust your gut instead of worrying about it. These mushrooms make you feel better. They boost your energy so you can embrace the day and help ease the aches and pains so you can get up and do it again tomorrow. So to recap, these mushrooms keep you healthy and energized, help your gut feel better and sharpen your focus while remaining calm. Oh, by the way, they taste good too. Someone should make a coffee with this stuff. Rise. Feel better.
See, he really, I know I said it already, but he really is mad today. I didn't think this was enough anger to warrant a cock-whipping out, but I was completely wrong. And, now like I just called it, he's sitting here saying, oh, I own you. Now he's even getting crazier by saying, you never even pulled up, you never pulled up. I don't know if this was a more recent time that Marty was supposed to pull up to Cyrax's crib, but as we've all seen before, the man pulled up and Cyrax pulled out. He didn't even show up to the fight at his own house. But, when it comes to these moments when Cyrax needs to yell at Marty and needs to find any insult he can find, these are just the ones he pulls out of his little bag. There's like 6 or 7 in there, and they just kind of rotate. It's kind of like playing Russian roulette, but like the bullets are, one of them is like F you, N-word boy. The other one is, Hitler's a saint compared to you. Sometimes it's something about this person's sister or their mother. He really likes to keep it within the family. That's Cyrax. He's got a few of them he likes to throw out here and there, and I'm probably just forgetting them right now. I took some massive data for this video. It probably isn't quite good, but we're gonna keep on trying.
You stood outside like a bitch.
Your grandmother cut off.
You ain't no
That's gangster. Big time your grandmother.
You're a puss. You ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. You wanna be angry. You wanna be shit. Don't get up on your mouth. Once you found out, bitch, I own you.
God, I feel like I'm listening to the alarms call again. You know, it's just so funny. Where does he get this shit? He must be watching way too many music videos or way too many videos of people trying to act hard. I don't know. I mean, he's obviously the one trying to act hard. You ain't a gangster. You ain't a thug. What? Where does he always gets this shit. Like, I don't understand how in his mind he thinks he's like hard. Now, obviously, we all know the ego that Cyrax possesses. It is quite massive. But I think there's a difference between having like an ego and being like, man, my music's great, because he actually he does music, to be fair. But then you're saying you're a gangster and you're a thug. Like, what have you ever done? Like, what have you ever done, Cyrax, that was considered gangster? Like, what have you ever done to consider yourself a thug? Well, I guess you did this illegal thing that Marty's accusing you of, so that kind of makes you a thug. But, you know, he did what he did to Lance Chilkins a few weeks ago, where the guy came to his house, stood across the street, and Cyrax got on screen and gloated about, "He's such a bitch, he didn't even come to my front door." So, in Cyrax's mind, this is how fights work. These people who live states away, hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, have to travel all the way to Akron, and then, not only do they have to stand out front of Cyrax's house, but they need to walk up to his front door, knock on the door, and wait for Cyrax to come there, and then they can do the fight right there, and I guess like the opening hallway of Cyrax's house or something. I don't know, maybe Cyrax will throw a punch at them and try to get him before he dips back in the crib. I don't know how he thinks this is gonna work, but in his mind, you know, that's bitch behavior from them, not from him. The fact that he has to be fucked to even leave his house is bitch behavior on their part. Because Cyrax is a king, ladies and gentlemen. To make him leave his throne, you know, you're just wasting the man's time.
Shut the fuck up and bow down to me.
How did I die down here? You get yelled at.
You don't have a message without my say so. It's not understood. I'm dangerous. I'm Shut the fuck up. Fuck up as I got this fuck up your face. You don't ever talk shit about me. You don't ever do shit about me. You crackheaded little bitch. Mom and daddy can beat your ass. So that way you have Mom and daddy can beat your ass. Well, that just shows you that your mom and your dad ain't nothing but a little bunch of punk ass.
Your dad's a rapist. And your mother is a rapist.
Yeah, I gotta censor out that last word now. YouTube really isn't liking that one anymore. But if you didn't know what Marty was calling it a retarded speak. Yeah, you know, Cyrax here, the attitude he's trying to portray, this, you know, like, you don't make a move without me knowing. I own you. Like, where is he getting this? Like, this is, I know he always tries to like deepen his voice, act like a tough guy, but he's trying to act really street here. Like uncharacteristically street for Cyrax's taste. He's just trying to act like a fucking Don here, like a mob boss. And it's, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's so hilarious when it comes from Cyrax, because you know it comes from a completely disingenuous place, from someone who would never be about that life. Even if, like, as much as Cyrax dreams and wishes and tried, he would never be about that. Never. And another questionable thing he does, I don't know why he acts like Marty not getting beaten by his parents is like an insult. Like, oh, what? Mom and Daddy didn't beat your ass when you were a kid? Like, is that a badge of, like, honor, Cyrax, to you? Like, you got smacked by your dad and you're like, awesome. Now I'm gonna grow up to be, like, the next big thing. Like, I don't think hitting little kids sets them up for any type of greatness. You know, you can disagree on that if you want. I don't know why you would, but yeah, like Cyrax's mindset here of you know, the more you beat your kids, the more they'll understand or respect Cyrax is some pretty weird line of thinking by Cyrax. I'm really surprised.
You're done. You're done. You're done.
Fuck, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Look at the wall. Look at the wall.
Fuck the luck. There is nothing about glory. Abandoned
Let's
place.
take a look. Let's take a look at U.S. Bill.
Fuck the law, bro. There's nothing wrong with exploring abandoned place.
Look at the
Fuck
wall.
it up.
I won't hear it.
Fuck it up. Watch this stuff on YouTube.
Look at the wall, Cyrax.
White
Look at the wall.
torch. Pathetic bag. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Hey, what does this say?
Fuck your life. Fuck your mom. Fuck your dad. I got your dad. You can expect me up there.
Can you read this?
No, you can expect me up there.
Okay. No person shall climb, jump, step, or stand upon, or cling or attach himself to a locomotive.
Marty's a pussy! Marty's a pussy! Marty's a coward! He's a bitch! He's a pussy! It's Marty!
You really wouldn't think this type of like minor thing with the Cyrax this like amped up, but you know, anytime someone comes at Cyrax with, oh, you're in trouble, he just fucking loses it. Like, you can tell this is a mixture of Cyrax being scared and really angry. You can tell he's angry because he's doing that thing he always does, where he just looks for any type of slur or bad thing he can call Marty. Like, his brain doesn't even process it before his mouth says it. Like, just for instance, look at when he called Marty a bitch monkey, and then look for the proper racial slur that he was really looking for just a few seconds later. He's not intelligent. I mean, I know by looking at him, you can tell that. But the thing is, it's just damning how his mind works when it comes to arguments. It's just who can say the more insults and who can say them louder. And that's why, like, when Marty's trying to tell him, like, hey, Cyrax, here's what you did wrong, he just gets into the mic and, Marty's a pussy, Marty's a, you know, like, I'm being louder, so I'm winning here. And he just can't take it, the little guy. This is really a huge weight on his small, tiny shoulders. My favorite part about all that, though, is when he's going on his spiel about fuck the law, and then he decides to say, urban exploration is not illegal, fuck the law, look it up on YouTube, fuck the law. Like, he's telling this guy, like, who cares about the law? Look this shit up on YouTube. Everyone's doing it, so it must be cool. Like, Cyrax, I can find videos of dudes that's chopping shit up in the forests of Colombia. It doesn't make it legal. It just means it's on YouTube. So they argued for a little bit longer, and then Cyrax eventually, you know, lucky for him, the police decided not to intervene on this most heinous of crimes, and nothing happened to the little guy. But that wasn't enough to stop him from making a stream entitled "Proving My Innocence Once and For All."
What's up, now, we have much to discuss. A lot to discuss. Because it's I think somebody wants to try to prove me guilty on multiple things, and I'm here to prove my innocence once and for all in this whole thing that's been going on for the last 5 years. Because this dude has been trying to get at me, trying to holler at me in that way. Like, he's been trying to make a move on me, this, that, and the other, and he's getting mad. So, this dude's over here trying to make me look guilty about crimes that I didn't commit. So, I'm here to prove my innocence once and for all.
You know he's serious when he's got this tone of voice. He's calmed down a little bit, and now it's time to prove all these trolls wrong. Now, it'll never not be funny the fact that he still believes that the whole trolling with Marty and all started from Marty getting rejected by Cyrax, Cyrax wanting no types of romantic advances from Marty, and when Cyrax denied Marty, Marty just became this troll who was out to get Cyrax. And now Cyrax is here to try to expose Marty, expose all these things that have been happening for the past 5 years, and really setting the record straight. But does he set the record straight? Absolutely not. He just bitches and moans about the same things he always bitches and moans about.
Music is Marty. Hey, man, the dude that doesn't know how to raise the fuck up. But I'm gonna be screwing my innocence once and for all, man. And not even once and for all, because I'm getting tired of this little game of, oh, she did this, she did that, when I did none of that. So I'm going to be proving my innocence for good. You ever get those little spots of like dead skin on your back? From like in a shower, yeah, that's my it's fucking stuff.
What? No, Cyrax, I don't deal with that. I don't think a lot of people deal with that. I get a shower every day, sometimes even 2, depending on how rough work gets. But I mean, shit. I'm like, oh man, I showered too hard. The skin is peeling off my back. If you're showering that much, you need to fucking get your shit sorted out, but I highly doubt that's the reason Cyrax's back is peeling.
Marty, you know I know what you're talking about when I speak of your Discord and how you sit there and say that I had something to do with my ex-girlfriend's death.
What is this about? Is this about the train thing from the other day? Now it's getting back to, them accusing Cyrax of the death of his ex-girlfriend, who really died, by the way. It wasn't by Cyrax's hand, but that won't stop the trolls from accusing him of it. I don't know what he's here to set the record straight on. He's like throwing a million things at the wall. He's here to set the record straight on why his back's peeling?
Oh, I do, man. I shower every fucking day.
Bullshit.
It's just the idea with really bad eczema that stresses you. So, yeah.
It's about the back peeling off of extreme useless.
As you guys know, over the last 5 years, I've dealt with a lot. And it's been stress that has put me in a position that is very dangerous, not only to my regular health, like my physical health, but my mental health as well, which is the trolling.
In another ploy to try to get the trolls to fuck off, Cyrax is now saying that his stress-induced eczema has gotten so bad, and the only way to get rid of it is for the trolls to leave him alone. Now, is it funny? No, it's actually not funny, because you can tell Cyrax genuinely is stressed out a lot. You can tell the dude's probably freaking out about every little thing in his life. However, this is the territory that you step into when you try to talk to a 14-year-old girl. This is this territory that you step into when the entire internet knows that you tried to rape her, or not even tried to, you raped a blind kid. This is what happens when you make a spectacle out of yourself every night on the internet. And if you want this stress-induced eczema to go away, then shut off the computer, lay in bed, just relax. Don't try to make music. Don't try to be an eraser. Just relax. If you want to go online, look for a job as like a graphic designer or something. I don't know if you even have the credentials for that or what even you need for that. But maybe that would be something you could do, Cyrax. And who knows? who knows? But the stress that comes with you being on the internet is something that you are not going to get rid of until you get off the internet. And you telling everyone else to stop messing with you is never going to work, because it's just not how the internet works. And I know I'm talking to a wall here. Cyrax would never listen to this, and it's probably been said a million times by a million different people, but it's the God's honest truth. Many people will sit here, the reason I bring this up is because I was sitting here, and Miss Smokey walked by. She knows nothing about Cyrax. She's heard this dude talk about this, and we're like, really? This is kind of fucked up. These people are really putting him through this, and I really sat her down, told her about him, and the next thing I know, she was like, what a little fucker. Like, oh my God, alright, well, maybe he just needs to chill out and get off the internet then. That's what any person, when you explain Cyrax's story, is going to say. Man, that dude needs to get off the internet. But to him, the answer is all the trolls need to go away. And, it's going to be a vicious cycle for Cyrax, because the trolls are never going to go away, and he's never going to get off the internet. So all his stress and all the stuff he's talking about is just going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's all going to be his own fault.
The trolling has affected me in a lot more ways than one. Because of the trolls, I actually deal with stress-induced eczema, which is one of the most dangerous ones. Because the stress-induced eczema flares up so much. And I don't know if any of you guys can tell, but I've been very stressed out and in a lot of pain from the stress-induced eczema, which I don't believe. It's hard for me to get up in the morning. It's hard for me to walk. It's hard for me to do anything because of it. And I don't need the stress. I want to get better. I don't need the stress, guys. I want to get better. I don't want to be in this kind of pain anymore. This stress-induced eczema is not good for my health or my mental health.
So what he genuinely wants here, he wants all the trolls to just go away, forget about all the bullshit Cyrax has done in the past, so he can sit here and recover and still fuck around on the internet and, get better that way. Not knowing that if every troll today left, there would be a whole bunch of new people who would find Cyrax and then continue to go after him because of the dumb bullshit he does. Like I said, when he sits here and talks about how much pain he's in every day, obviously, dude, that sucks. No one wants you to have to go through that. But at the same time, Cyrax, it's so easily treatable, and you could treat it yourself by walking away from the goddamn internet, but you just refuse to do so. And it makes it hard to feel bad for you. Even though, like I said, the unsuspecting person who's listening to this is probably like, wow, this is really fucked up. But at the end of the day, he holds all the cards in his own hands. He's just always playing the wrong ones.
I don't need it. And a lot of you guys won't understand. Because some of you guys don't deal with it. A lot of you guys don't understand what stress-induced eczema does, especially when it's on your legs. Imagine your skin having being basically so dried out that it is literally hard to fucking even get up in the morning. It's hard to stand. It's hard to do anything. That's what my life has been like for the last couple months. No, Kingsley Adams, I'm not gonna leave the internet. What I am gonna do about it though, is I am going to ignore Marty and all you trolls.
And again, like, come on, man. He did this last week too, when he was bitching and moaning about like everything, how everything's so stressful. Someone said, all right, dude, just get off the internet then. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that, because I have a fucking right to be here just like everyone else. But it's like, yeah, you do, Cyrax. But do you understand if everybody else posted videos of themselves having fucking massive freakouts online, if everyone else talked to a 14-year-old or someone they thought was a 14-year-old online, they would get the same amount of shit that you do? And, you know, it's also, now we know what the back peeling is from. It's not from all the showers. It's probably from whatever skin condition he got. And, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say with Cyrax. Like, he's just trying to garner sympathy here. I've been saying it, but to the unsuspecting person listening to this without context behind it, it'll probably work. But if you know about Cyrax and you know about the shit he's done, you know he's just trying to garner sympathy, trying to make you feel bad for him, and trying to make you realize that the trolls are all the bad people, and he shouldn't be held accountable for none of the shit he does. Everyone else should just go away and stop talking about it. So later that night, we agreed with another stream entitled Bad News Update, which starts with a fake crying Cyrax putting his head in his hands, about to deliver us some damning news. And, you know, I just want you to, hopefully you're all taking a seat, because this one might knock the wind out of you.
Marty, I hope you're happy with yourself, music biz, Marty. Because of that stress-induced eczema that you caused me, that shit is beautiful. And so I hope you're happy, Marty. You caused me to get something that's incurable by stressing me the fuck out. All it is manageable. No, it's not cancer. It's fucking stress-induced eczema.
You know, just stop. Because what the fuck are you doing? You know, you're sitting, and you say, oh no, it's not cancer, it's stress-induced eczema. Well, I'd be fucking shocked, because the way you're making it sound is like it is cancer, Cyrax. You're not, yeah, stress-induced eczema must suck. I don't have it, I don't know what it's like. But don't sit here, like, you're trying to garner sympathy like you do have fucking cancer with it's not curable, it's only treatable. Like, yeah, it's not gonna take your life, Cyrax. You're trying to put yourself on the same level as these people who have these genuine life-threatening illnesses that, you know, it's just fucking weak. It's really weak shit. And it's just another thing he's trying to use to fucking get the trolls off his back. And it's not gonna work, and I'm genuinely glad it doesn't.
This motherfucker, because of all the stress he put me under, gave me stress-induced eczema, which is incurable. So, Marty, I hope you're fucking happy. But let me tell you this, Marty. The minute I get this shit under control, I'm coming after you and everyone you fucking love, Nick. I'm coming after you and everyone you fucking love and care about, Nick. Everyone. Because of this stress-induced eczema that you got me under, I'm coming for you and everyone you fucking love as soon as I can get well.
Marty, you stressed me out too much, so now I'm gonna do exactly what I always bitch at everyone else for doing, and I'm gonna go after your family. You know, it's so fucking, he's the worst sometimes. Like, he's doing exactly what he was mad at everyone else for doing, and now, like, he's blaming Marty for fucking with him and trolling him to the point where now he has stress-induced eczema, where I've said it already, and I'll say it again. None of this would have happened, Cyrax, if you just didn't do all the dumb shit you've done on the internet. Like, it's so easy to counteract this. And you talk about when you get better, you're gonna go after Marty and all this shit. You were just talking about how you don't need trolling anymore and you want to get better. But the only thing on your mind is, oh, when I do get better than this, I'm going after the trolls. So what the fuck do you think's gonna happen? Do you think it's gonna be a real stress-free experience when you're trying to go after these trolls? Because you know what's gonna happen, and your shit's just gonna get worse if you do so. I never get this when I'm thinking, but I don't think anyone does. He's Cyrax, even if he doesn't know what his next move is because he hasn't thought of it yet.
You gave me something that's incurable, that is fucking me. Because of Nick, I now have to deal with stress-induced eczema for the rest of my fucking life. So congratulations, bitch face. Congratulations, you fucking piece of trash. I hope you're happy, Marty. Because of you, I now have stress-induced eczema for the rest of my fucking life. Which is incurable. All it is manageable. So I hope you're fucking happy, fat ass. I hope you're happy. You gave me something that I didn't need. So fuck you. And fuck your whole goddamn family for supporting what you do. You have no idea how much pain I'm in every day because of you, Nick. Every day because of you, I'm in excruciating, unmanageable pain. You have no idea what the rest of my life is going to be like because of you. Honestly, Marty, I would love to put you in my shoes for just a day. Just a day, so you can experience the pain that I've fucking go through. I would love to put you in my shoes for a day and let you feel the pain that I've fucking feel. I would love to put you in my shoes. I would love to put you in my shoes for a day, Nick. I would love to put you in my shoes for a day and make you feel the excruciating pain that I fucking feel because of you. You have no idea how much it is hurting to even stand right now. You don't understand how much it hurts to just fucking stand, let alone get up in the mornings and do anything. I'm telling you right now, Nick, the minute I get better, I'm coming for your fucking head, bitch. I am coming for you, your mom, your dad, everyone you fucking care about. I am coming for you.
No one deserves to be in the same shoes as Cyrax unless they've talked to a little kid. No one deserves to be in the same shoes as Cyrax unless they've done any of the dumb batshit stuff that he's done. And, you know, it's like I already said, for him to always bitch and moan about people's families, but then be here and tell Marty that everyone you love, I'm going after them once I'm better. Yeah, it's just so, it's such hypocritical shit. And he complains that he's in searing agony every day, you know, he can barely get up. He can play guitar just fine. He can wail on his guitar and sit there and sing and dance around his concerts all out like a night. But I guess that doesn't hurt him because that's the fun stuff. But when it comes to yelling at the trolls, it's too much, you know, you know, does it suck that Cyrax has to deal with this? Of course it does. But like at the same time, dude, just get off the internet. Simple as that. Your answers have been solved. There's really no more to talk about. Well, fuck me. Apparently there is more to talk about because you just can't let it go. Like, aren't you supposed to be ignoring the trolls right now, Cyrax? Ignore them.
Yes, I'm trying, but I do have some good news, bad news, good news. So I'm waiting for you guys to get in here because this shit needs to be dealt with.
No, I genuinely can't remember what he's about to say, but I'll bet you it's either just saying the same thing he did last stream or saying, Marty, why don't you just leave me alone? It's always one of those two things.
First off, the music is Marty. Why can't you leave me alone?
Oh, get the fuck out!
Why can't any of the trolls leave me alone? I mean, you guys know that I'm in recovery right now. You guys know that I'm working on getting better. But yet, you guys can't seem to leave me alone, can you?
Like, we know he's got an ego, we know he's delusional, but how does he not understand how the trolls operate by now? Why does he not understand just telling them that I'm trying to get better? What did I tell you last time when I said to leave me alone? Why don't you just leave me alone? You've tried this for 5 years, Cyrax. Why do you think it's going to be any different this time? Like, you're so shocked that 24 hours after you said, oh, I need to go into recovery, goodbye, trolls. The trolls would just go away, and now that they're not going away, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is this even possible? Like, dude, like, this happens every time. Why are you surprised?
Why is that? Like, why are you guys so hell-bent on making me the next Chris Chan? You guys know that it's never going to fucking work. So stop it.
You stop it. You stop it, because you're about fucking 3 freakouts and a couple fucking sagas away from becoming the next Chris Cyrax. I know a lot of people have argued that in my comment before, saying, oh, there can never be a next Chris, there can never be a next Chris. And of course there will never be someone exactly like Chris again, but with all the delusions and all the trickery that goes on to mess with Cyrax, you are very, very close to being the next Chris. I mean, right now, while Chris is in jail, Cyrax kind of is the de facto Chris with all the trolling shit that goes on with him and all that. Like I said, there'll never be a one-to-one replica. Like, oh, he's the next Chris. He's not the next Chris. He's the first Cyrax. And for him to act like that's such a far-fetched thing to go, you know that will never happen. That's already happened, Cyrax. By you making this video saying that this will never happen is just another factor of why it's happening right now. Because you're letting it happen. You're further increasing the chances with every single upload you make.
Let me ask you this, Dominic. What in your mind makes you think that I'm a freak? Is it because of how I look? Is it because of the type of music that I do? What in your mind makes you see me as a freak? I want to know, what makes you feel like I'm a freak? I want to know.
It's an amalgamation of all the things you previously mentioned, plus the fact that you're a pedophile.
Actually, I can prove that I don't steal and I'm not a pedophile. And my hygiene is perfectly fine. So, seriously, bro, shut the fuck up.
Nothing that guy said was wrong, and you have no proof to any of those things. You can't prove you haven't stolen because it's proven that you have. You can't prove that you're not a pedophile because it's proven that you have. And you can prove that you don't have good hygiene just by fucking looking at you. And finally, we end up here. Cyrax has another stream called Internet Drama Studio, where I assume he's just gonna go over the same bullet points he's already been hitting. What a horrifying sight we've seen right now.
What up, man?
Hurry up!
Yo, AD, can you hear me?
Hurry up!
Yo, anybody hear me?
I just can't.
What up?
You are amazing.
Now, I know what a lot of y'all are thinking. We're gonna talk about a few things here, and I'm gonna be fucking real. There's an internet drama. First off, I'm gonna say this right now. This internet drama shit that y'all motherfuckers got going on with, oh, it's that dude, let's attach that dude. It's stupid shit. Like, grow the fuck up. But like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. This internet stupid shit that y'all got going on, you know, what this guy's doing, what that guy's doing, and attacking this person and that person, it's all fucking stupid shit.
Whenever he does these videos and talks about all these people being trolled and this person and that person, he never names them, other than sometimes Christian. But when he talks about this, he's always talking about himself, but he wants to act like he's a voice for the voiceless. He wants to act like he's doing this for the little guys. He's doing this to protect people, when really all he's doing is trying to protect himself. He couldn't give any less of a shit about any other law without being trolled. I mean, shit, look at Tony the Black Dragon. Tony's just as much of a weirdo as Cyrax. The thing is, Cyrax on many occasions just jumps and screams and trolls and goes, "Go attack Tony, not me. Why are you attacking me? Tony's right there." He doesn't care about other people in the same type of shoes he's in. All he cares about is that the trolls ignore him and just go to someone else.
It really is just schoolyard slouching. And what do you guys gain out of doing it? I don't understand. Yeah, they are. That's all good. The last kid got arrested.
Oh, God. Well, I'd be remiss if I was to not mention Fred, the guy that Cyrax just mentioned there who got arrested. This really doesn't have to do with Cyrax, even though it's completely revolved around Cyrax. But the other night, Marty was doing this thing, sending grinder dudes over to Cyrax's house, as you do. And he sent this one dude who was just out of it, named Fred. And Fred showed up, things of course went south. And when Fred was leaving, the cops pulled him over. Now, I don't know if it was Cyrax who called them, but 9 times out of 10, if you're going to Cyrax's house and the trolls are involved, the cops are getting called. So it probably was Cyrax. But old Fred got pulled over, and they found a meth pipe in his car, and he got arrested for like drug possession and shit like that. Just a really wild thing that happened on Marty's stream. And that's what Cyrax is talking about here, that, the more people keep showing up, but that last guy got arrested. So, this is a common occurrence now at the Wilkins household. Just all these dudes showing up looking for scrap metal. Some days they're looking for Cyrax because they think he just looks cute and they're trying to get on in there. But it's always an eventful day on Lloyd Street.
But like, it's so fucking dumb what you guys do. Like, it really is. Like, you guys sit there and you don't think about what another man's doing, that you're wasting your own life with. Like, you're literally throwing your life away for what? You're worried about what another man's doing? Imagine all the stuff you could do if you're not worrying about that person. Imagine all the things you can accomplish by not worrying about what the next man is doing. Worrying about what I'm doing. Worrying about what this guy's doing. Like, y'all are so invested in bullshit that it's honestly funny. Yeah, dude ended up getting arrested after he got pulled over. But
you see, he slipped up there for a second and said, wasting your time watching me. And like I said, it all revolves about his Cyrax. Everything revolves around him. Everything he's talking about, even though he tries to act like he's saying it to a broad group of people, it's just about him. And genuinely, it's rich to hear somebody who's always involved in internet drama talk about how stupid internet drama is. He's always intertwined in this shit, and he acts like it's such a waste of time, even though he spends all day bitching about someone or something on his streams. He always complains about the same things that he does all the time. It's just the classic Cyrax formula. And I guess, he said it at the end there again, talking about old Fred. If you're interested in that stream, it's down in the description below. Like I said, just a wild ride.
I know I always say I'm gonna leave music and come back and leave and come back, and I always end up coming back next day, but and I'm not saying I'm quitting music entirely, I'm not. Like, that's never gonna happen, I can never quit entirely, but I am taking a break for a while. Do I take so, man? Ever since I got with my girlfriend, dude.
God damn it, Cyrax. Like, why did you, like, it's this thing with lolcats, man. They always spill the beans when they don't have to. Like, the trolls would have found out he had a quote-unquote girlfriend, one way or the other. But for you to just, like, the second you said that, like, now everyone's gonna be gunning to find out who this girl is. Like I said earlier, you think he'd learn his lesson by now, but he never can. The trolls and all these people, you know how they are, Cyrax. You've been dealing with them for years. And the fact that you don't know that they're gonna jump all over that is astonishing. But like I said, I know I give the dude too much credit sometimes, but I'm saying, like, oh, how is he figuring this out? I mean, I know it's Cyrax, I know he's not all there, but at the same time, like, he shows moments of clarity, like he just did right there, and that's why I want to bring this up. He knows what he does all the time. He knows how ridiculous it is to say, oh, I'm leaving, oh, I'm coming back, oh, I'm leaving, oh, I'm coming back, oh, I'm leaving, oh, I'm coming back again. He does it all the time, and he knows he does it all the time. And the fact that he genuinely realizes that makes me think, how doesn't he realize that he's falling for the same old song and dance yet again? But it's, like I said, you never know with this guy. You genuinely never know. But, you know, hopefully Cyrax is doing better in his recovery. He's given up music once and for all. He's live right now, probably just giving a nice pep talk. Let's see what he's up to. Awesome job, Cyrax. That was What I've Done by Linkin Park, by the way. Maybe it occurred to you guys, but it didn't hit me until like the third or fourth time listening to that, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? So he's just doing his screaming version of it, and once again, Chester Bennington is rolling in his grave just listening to Cyrax's butchering of his song. But that's what Cyrax is, ladies and gentlemen. It's the same old song and dance. He's lost in this big world. You know, he's lost in his own mind, he's lost in his world, he's constantly wandering around his room wondering what he's going to do next, and it always just falls to the same thing. It's either screaming and yelling, or just doing something that he thinks is going to be his future, but he has absolutely no shot. It's a cruel world when you're Cyrax. You're constantly waking up to the same type of failure each and every day, and if you're any normal person, it's going to eventually eat at you. But if you're Cyrax, you can live comfortably and find solace in blind ignorance. It's his life. It's like I said. If a normal person went through this, they'd be losing it. But since it's Cyrax, he thinks it's just his life is doing amazing right now. You know, he's got a girl. His music career is just a couple more steps from taking off. Like always, it couldn't be going better. But from every outside world, you can see what it really is, and it's nothing to be envious about. Just kind of want to get as far away from it as possible. And so, with that being said, I want to give shouts out to Vanessa, Cody Hale, Club Doom, Scaly Schisms, Echo Spectre, Kaitan, Phoenix Party Place, Churlish, Pathia, Your Mom, Mick Surly, Adrian Lara, Sky Fitzpatrick, Alright Stingy, Isaiah, Akiva's Beat Fan, Blake Austin, G-Man, Gypsy Balls, Trademark, Cyrax Stylist, Vaga, Commander Louie, Krabby, Justin S., the Ghostbusters fan, Steve from the Chevy Squad, Chef Mean Maker, Italian Boy Advance, East Music Biz Marty's Bond, Chris Chance Fanta Bottle, Pebra, SK Rux, and Bullet BP. You guys are fucking goats. And all y'all who made it to the end of this video, you know you guys are goats as well. So guys, I apologize for the 10-day wait in between videos. Some shit came up, I wasn't really planning on it. It's nothing bad or nothing, just I wasn't planning on some shit, and life happens. Now that I'm back, it's time to really kick shit into another gear. I genuinely mean that this time. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be testing out the waters here. We're going to be going into a lot of new locales, and I mean that because I've been doing my research. I've been looking at Cobra. I've been looking at another lad from Germany, or maybe from, I think it's from Germany, maybe right outside of Germany, a little village somewhere over there. There's a lot of cats I've been looking at, and I hope you all enjoy what we're about to put out. So until next time, I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I know it's like Tuesday right now, but the week's gonna go fast, my friends. Before you know it, and I say it all the time, it's gonna be Friday. Look how many times that's happened since I've been saying this. Like 60, 70 times. It happens all the time. You think, oh shit, now it's Friday. It happens, it comes so quick. And then before you know it, you'll be sitting back, chilling out. And I'll have some videos for you then that I hope you guys can enjoy. So until next time, guys, take care, have a safe rest of your week, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you then.
That's what I expected.
As I said, my entire life, I was bullied, I was picked on, I was beat up, I was degraded, I was raped.
But, unfortunately, when I was about 16, 17 years old, I can't really talk about this. It's crazy, but I do feel. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's just like it's one of those things that like you don't really want to say, so you kind of have to, in a sense. So like, this is a good thing here. So, unfortunately, when I was 16, 17 years old, around that time period, I was actually one of my best friends from high school. Now at the time, I didn't know that he was gay. I had actually met this kid, his name was Joey Tyler. We had gone to the same high school together. And we were really close. We were super cool with each other. And at first, I didn't take him as gay. I took him as, being, that weird kid in high school that's just, really strange and, an oddball kind of person. That was it. And, I took it as that. I was like, yo, he was really cool. He was super chill. He was actually the guy that actually introduced me to Linkin Park, ironically. He had gotten me into their music. So, I started listening to them. And there was one day when he came over to my house, and, we were hanging out or whatever, and, during that time, he just kind of, put his arm around me, kind of like what Jake does to me all the time, he kind of gave me a hug like that. And, during that time, the way he did it made me suspect that he was, but I wasn't entirely sure, so I was like, okay, whatever, but okay, it is what it is. But, there was a day where, we had some, city people, working on our street, and I guess one of them had to cut the power to my street, and the way our streets were was we lived on a street that was like this, so this whole block was one street, and then down this way was another. So when our power went out, keep in mind, I did not know that Billy had lived on the same street until he had walked down the street. And he was like, yo, here's your guys' power. Because, we know there's people over here working or whatever. And we were like, yeah, it came back, we're good, whatever. And then, later that night, they started working again. And whatnot. And, unfortunately the power was out for that whole night.
So my mom had to work that night, so she was like, hey, why don't you just go ahead and, you know, walk over there to Billy's house with him. And I was like, alright, cool, no problem, you know, I'll go over there and stay the night over there. Not a problem, because, you know, I had school the next day anyway, so I was like, fuck it. Just crash over there, go to school the next day, whatever. Well, me and him were over there. We did the typical things that you would normally do. Like, we would sit there, play video games, listen to music, annoy the shit out of his older sister. Like, you know, the typical stuff. You know, very typical teenager-esque stuff. And yes, for all y'all wondering if I was a rebel as a teenager, you bet your damn ass I was a fucking rebel. I was the worst, let's be honest. I was the worst fucking rebel. Ask my mom, she'll tell you. I was bad. But, like, you know, we were over there hanging out, whatever. And, it was time for us to hit the sack, so we're like, fuck it, you know, let's just pass out, put on a movie or whatever, fall asleep, go to school, whatever. Well, yo, Detroit, whatever. But, whenever, we started passing out, I was like literally the first to fall asleep. I was halfway asleep. I was like, oh, I'm so tired. Like, you know how, like, when you're, like, in that in-between area of, like, being asleep and awake, like, you're, like, right in between? It was like that. Like, I was literally, like, oh. And I didn't know that this was gonna happen. Like, literally, I was laying there completely out of it, half asleep. Just literally half asleep. Not knowing what was gonna happen, completely unaware. And like next thing I know, I feel something behind me, and I'm like looking around, thinking like, oh, that's probably just his dog, because he had a dog that would, you know, come in the room and hang out or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever, his dog, bears, whatever, cool, fine. Let him pass out, I don't give two shits.
Chance, did you mention his disability? I can't remember at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that is something that I did forget to mention, that he was half blind, but they legally labeled him as blind for whatever reason. I don't know why they did full blind instead of half. And I think the reason why is because he had to have like those special things that like roll around so that blind people can feel it. And keep in mind, I didn't know that he was gonna do what he did. So like he could see like the general outline of things, but he couldn't like fully see, you know what I mean? Like you could see like the general outline shape of it. So like he did have a disability in that regard, but the guy was smart. I'll admit the guy was super smart. But that night.
How old was he? Was he the same age? Was he a year or two younger than you?
He was literally like about to be the same age as me. I was 17 at the time. He was 16.
Yeah.
He was getting ready to be 17, and I was just getting ready to be 18 that year. So like it was like I was saying, like we were laying down. I felt something on against it. Figured that, you know, it was his dog coming into the room to lay down. His dog always slept in his room. It didn't matter where he was at, he was just right there sleeping. So I was like, alright, cool, his dog's passed out by me. I don't give a shit. I've had dogs do that before. I'm used to it. Whatever. I'm laying there half asleep. Next thing I know, I feel a fucking arm come around me. And unfortunately, like I felt my pants get ripped down, and from there, everything happened. And before I knew what happened, I fucking seen him walk off me. So as soon as I seen that, I literally reached my elbow around, and I like got him like right there on the block. He was up high enough to where I could, you know, get him. So I fucking reached around. I'm like, yo, get the fuck off of me, dude. And he was literally sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like, he took me as the day when I clearly wasn't. And I had told him this, and I guess he was trying to, you know, force that on me by doing what he did, unfortunately. And the next day, we went to school after I had asked my shit up, and I went back home. I had learned what had happened. So, you know, I had, you know, stayed there with the power off, didn't give a shit. At that point, I was like, you know, I'm staying home, fuck this. So we went to school the next day, and he had seen me later that morning, and was like, he had wrote a note saying that he was sorry, and whatnot, that he didn't need that to happen, and at that point, I was like in complete disgust of like, you know, how can you do that to somebody like that? And, you know, be sorry about it, like, what the fuck? So, you know, I was
Sorry
like,
to interrupt, can I ask you something that's quite important for you?
yeah.
Did you actually penetrate yet?
Unfortunately, yeah. Like, he wasn't in there long enough to really be able to do anything.
Right,
So thankfully, it didn't go too far, but it was just enough to be like, yo, like, you're about to get knocked out.
Wow.
Yeah, but like, we went to school the next day. He had wrote a note apologizing, and I was still in complete shock and disgust. I was like, dude, like, no amount of notes or letters that you write me could ever make up for what you've done. Like, that's not okay. And I get a call down to the principal's office later that day, and I was like, okay, like, I didn't know if I was in trouble or what, because that week before I actually did get into a fight with some idiot that wanted to start shit, so I didn't know if it was about that or if it was about something else. I didn't know. So I went down there to talk to the principal, and he had brought up the fact that Billy had told him what happened, and I looked at him, I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like, okay, he told you what happened, and he apparently turned around, and this does happen to a lot of people, mind you, as sad as it is. Billy had turned the story around and said that I had done it to him, and which wasn't true at all. Like, I had the marks and everything on me at that time to prove it. I still had, you know, scratch marks on my arm from where he was trying to keep a hold of me. And I had even told Billy, I was like, show me your fucking lip where I fucking elbowed your ass. Like, show it. And he was like, no, I don't have to do anything, blah, blah, blah. And the principal didn't force it. And unfortunately, they had to expel me because he was underage at the time. And the principal was like, look, you know, I kind of figured, like, this wasn't you. Because, like, he had talked to Billy and Billy's parents and family, and the principal had them take him home. And when I sat down and I talked to the principal by myself with my family present, he had said, you know, like, look, I know you're not a bad student. I know you wouldn't do anything like this. But unfortunately, due to the age that he is, and you being the older one, you know, I'm going to have to expel you to keep this from, you know, happening again. And I was like, I was in shock. I'm like, really? So you're just gonna let him, like, go like that? Like, why is he getting expelled? Why am I to be the one to get expelled? Like, he did this to me. It wasn't the other way around like he's saying. Like, that's not fair. And he was like, I know it's not, but due to protocol and, you know, the rules they have to abide by, because of his age, he was still a minor, and I was like, I think like 6 months away from being 18 at that point. And due to that, they were like, you know, we could have you arrested, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to, you know, expel you and put you in another school for, you know, your safety. And we also know that you're angry, and we don't want you going off on another student and hurting anybody. So unfortunately, they did have to transfer me to another school, and we fought it for a month. We were like, dude, like, this isn't fair. Like, you know, let me go back to my original school. Because North High School, where all this went down, that's where I met, you know, some of my best friends at. That's where I met my friends of the band Sandcat that everybody knows by now. That's where I met, you know, some of my best friends. That's actually where my best friend Zach went to school at. The one that was shot and killed in his family's restaurant. That's the school that we went to together and whatnot. So like, that school was very, very near and dear to my heart. It was very close to me, and still is. Like, I still go there every now and then to visit and say what's up. But soon after that had happened, we were trying to fight it. It didn't work. And it...
What did the police say, please? What did the police say?
The police were there, but they said, thankfully, I was still underage, so they couldn't really, you know, do anything.
What? So they were victim blaming as well?
Not really. They weren't victim blaming, but due to the whole age gap thing, they kind of had to be like, you know, you are the older one. You know, you should have known. And I explained to them, I was like, look, I didn't know. I had no idea he was gay. I did not know this. I didn't even know that any of this was going to happen. Unfortunately, I had no idea. And they're like, okay, well, you know, like, they weren't victim shaming, they weren't blaming anybody, but they were going off of the whole, you know, the age difference. I was 17, he was 16 at the time, so like, he was the younger one. So unfortunately, due to, you know, that being as it was, they had to look at it as, okay, he's a minor, he's an adult kind of situation in a certain sense. So that's when they had made the decision. They were initially gonna have me arrested and thrown in juvenile hall until I was 18. Yeah, they were initially gonna have me convicted into juvie, and then, you know, when my birthday hit, they were gonna try me as an adult. But once the principal sat down and spoke to them, they were like, look, like, you know, he's not a bad kid. He's actually very good. He doesn't, you know, do shit like this. It's not like him. It's not in his nature. And my mom even sat down and spoke with them as well. And they had all agreed, you know, instead of, you know, putting me in juvenile hall and, you know, giving me a record that would ultimately affect my life, affect me for the rest of my life, they had came to an agreement of, okay, since this happened, to keep it from happening again, you know, we're gonna place you in another school. That way, you know, you're in one school, he's in another, you guys aren't near each other, which ultimately is what led us to moving to the house that we're in now. Like, that's kind of what led us to this house, and what led me to going to Garfield High School, where literally within like a week, you know, I met, you know, my best friend Jake, who everybody knows by now. He's literally like my little brother. Like, I can honestly say I couldn't ask for a better friend at all. Like, he's literally one of my closest friends, hands down. But unfortunately, you know, that definitely is something that I've had to deal with. I've not spoken to him since then, and I don't hope to, and I honestly don't wish to, honestly. Like, after that, like, it was very hard to speak about it first, because of the fact that I had been victimized by this person, and I didn't know that this was a thing. until like a few years ago when I wanted to, start talking about the different stuff that I had been through. I wanted to talk about, my story and my survival of, being bullied, surviving suicide. And I started like looking up all these groups on Facebook and whatnot. And I found one that I'm still very close to this very day. I'm still part of it. And don't plan on leaving it anytime soon because I do, find, comfort in helping people through their problems on there. But like I knew at some point I wanted to speak about what I had been through. I just didn't know how. So like, one of the members in the group, one of the admins was like, look, there's, all sorts of, victims that get put through that kind of stuff, and getting put through that kind of a situation that I got put through is actually more common than people think. Like, and this is something I found out that actually is legitimate fact, is that when, you're a teenager, sometimes that will happen. What the teenager will do is they'll go after somebody that's older, and then they'll turn the tables around. After doing what they do, they'll turn the tables around and scream rape. And, unfortunately, the person gets victimized, gets a bad reputation. And
it's usually somebody who's much older, though, isn't it? Not as a similar age.
Exactly. It's usually, and unfortunately...
Did you get a medical exam?
I did, and thankfully I didn't have anything. Thank God for that. I did get checked, and thankfully, I didn't have anything. Thank God.
And is it something that you can still prosecute? But like, there's the statute of limitations. Rape doesn't have a limitation on the time that you can, push charges.
Yeah, and unfortunately I can't, because we don't know if they've moved. We don't even know where they're at. So really, like, even if we wanted to, like, there's no way that we would be able to, find them. Because when we go back on their Facebook over the last few years, like my mom had looked into it several times, and they've moved around several times and so many times over the years that we don't know where they're at, unfortunately. So it'll be hard to, to be like, hey, this is where they're at, kind of thing. But,
we could find them.
I honestly don't know. I really don't know. But, like, for me, like, I'm not even, like, really, worried about tracking them down at this point. And the reason being, and I know it's going to sound, kind of weird, but this is just, how I'm looking at it. And I know this is kind of a screwed up way to look at it, but I feel like, me going through that, in a sense, was, and I know this is going to sound wrong, but this is just, me speaking my piece and what I learned from it. I feel like, to me, it was like, I kind of feel like in a sense it was a good thing to go through that experience, as gross and fucked up as it is, because I'm now able to, reach out to, people that go through that stuff, and I can sit there and say, hey, I've actually gone through this. Like, I'm a survivor of this. It's something that I've gone through. This is a very real thing. And, there are other people out there like yourself that, that do unfortunately deal with this kind of thing, that do, have to live with that unfortunate realization that this awful thing, happened. And as sad as it is, it's like we said earlier, matter of fact, we had spoke about this literally like right before the stream, that unfortunately this is something that is very common, actually, as sad as it is. Like, it's something that's very, very common. That it shouldn't be common. It really shouldn't. Like, I honestly feel like it shouldn't be happening at all. And I know a lot of, people are now resorting to social media to do human trafficking, to commit these kinds of crimes, and it's all around just awful. It really is. So if any of you guys out there are going through that, I definitely highly recommend, telling your story, reach out to somebody, and I know it's hard, I get it, it was hard for me to even speak about it when I first, found that group on Facebook, and when it first happened, it was very, very hard for me to speak about it. Even last night, it was, so weird, but I also knew, that it was a good thing, because I got to speak about it. I got to finally say, hey, this is what, I've gone through, on top of these other things, because, as a lot of people know, I am, an advocate for, anti-bullying, suicide, as I am a survivor of suicide, of many attempts, along with bullying. So, this is one of those things where I can actually reach out to the younger generation, or, somebody that has gone through that, and be like, hey, you're not alone in this fight. You have somebody here that genuinely understands, and you're not alone in this fight.
How did Sally take it? How did your mum take it?
Oh, she was in disbelief that, he would even do something like that. She was just like, what the hell? He seemed like such a good kid, because he would always come over, he would always hang out, we would always play video games. Hell, there were times where he would stay the weekend and nothing would happen. And it just kind of threw her off guard, and kind of threw her into a state of, disbelief. Why would he, all of a sudden, do this? And I didn't understand it at first myself. And then, when it all happened and went down, that's when I realized, holy shit, this whole time, he had actually had the hots for me, and wasn't gonna take no for an answer. It kind of clicked afterwards, and that's when I was I'm glad I'm away from him. Because,
the fact that he was blind, does that kind of have a big effect on the fact that, he did have that massive disability?
That did play a certain effect in a way, yeah, I kind of felt bad for the fact that he was blind, but at that time, I wasn't really thinking about that. I was thinking oh my god, this person...
sorry, it could have even more of an emasculating effect, because he had this massive disability. I know some men, it's play on their mind quite a lot.
Yeah, I see where it comes from. Looking back, a few years after it happened, yeah, it kind of did for a while. But during the whole incident itself, it was more of a, oh my god, I can't believe this person that I saw as family would do this. And then afterwards, after the dust had settled, I was oh my god, this dude is literally half blind that I saw his family did this. What the heck? And it made me really think, how many other people has he done this to throughout his time at school? It really made me think. And, soon after that, I had spoken to the people on Facebook, because, I didn't really have any friends around that time that I could really open up to. And so I started talking to some people on one of the Facebook groups that I'm with, that's when like I kind of realized like, you know, I'm not the only one that's going through this. There are other people out there like me, and you know, I kind of saw it as like, you know, like it did hurt, you know, at first talking about it, but like afterwards, like it felt like, you know, like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I was able to be like, hey, this is something that I've gone through. Like, you know, you're not alone. You know, there are some people out there like that and anybody out there, you know, that has dealt with this or has any similar stories, like I said, you know, please, like, don't be afraid to, you know, hop on YouTube, turn on the camera, and, you know, start talking about it, or if you don't want to, you know, be on video, you know, do a podcast or a recording or something, you know, hit up, you know, groups on Facebook. Like, there's a lot of groups on Facebook that, you know, have helped me out over the years, and I've also been able to help a few people as well. Like, so for me, like, to be able to say that I survived that and things didn't get very, very as bad as they could have gotten, like, I do feel very fortunate that, you know, things didn't go as bad, and that I can actually reach out, you know, and help people in my own way. Like, before, you know, I remember I had told you, like, hey, you know, if your brother ever needs somebody to talk to, you know, I'm always here, and my chat's always open 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, he did go, I was probably telling you about, he did go through therapy, and that did help. But I think it's important that people should actually be able to talk things. I mean, I know this was some time ago, but I think the Black Me Too movement being such a well, a success really, probably to the extreme where people are getting accused when they're innocent. But anyways, that's a different subject. But I do think it's important to be able to talk to the police and to be able to talk.
It definitely is, you know, and unfortunately, you know, that's something that a lot of victims have to deal with, unfortunately, because it's so it's not as uncommon, it's just one of those things that does happen where the victim is not really, you know, the person that's claiming to be the victim isn't the victim, you know, gets away with it, and that's an unfortunate thing that does happen. You know, quite a bit, not just to youth, but to young adults and people of all ages, and it's unfortunate that does have to, you know, be the way that it is, but like you said, you know, I feel like it's important to, you know, put our stories out there and for others to tell their stories as well, so that, you know, people can realize, like, hey, I'm not the only one that's going through this. Like, there are others out there that do know this, like, that have gone through this, that can trust yeah, you know, can talk to about what, you know, I'm going through, and, you know, to have somebody that, you know, understands, you know?
Yeah. I mean, when you spoke to me about it last night, I was a bit concerned that I was shocked that the school system decided to
and that did suck because, you know, like I said, you know, that's where a lot of my best friends were at. That's where, you know, my best friend David, who was the basis for the band Elixir, which would soon become the band Sandcast shortly after his passing, was that. That's where, you know, my best friend, who was like my little brother, who unfortunately got killed in his family's pizza shop in 2015, was that. Like, that's where, you know, my main, you know, tight group of friends. That's where I met them all at. And that was, for me, North High School was like, it was like a second home to me until, you know, that happened. And to some extent it still is like a second home to me. But also it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like I'm kind of glad that I got moved out of that school and they did things the way they did. Because of the fact that, you know, not only was I able to get away from the person that did this to me, but I also, like I said, you know, I met, you know, the dude that was becoming literally like my little brother, Jake, that everybody knows by now. I was the dude that I wrestled with on live stream one day, joking around. You know, I had met him, another best friend of mine, Taylor, my best friend. And like, I met some more people that would, you know, become, you know, some of my best friends and whatnot. And over the years, you know, I have talked to, you know, them about it, and I have, you know, spoken, you know, about it and whatnot. So they are, you know, very aware of the situation, and even they agree, like, what happened, you know, wasn't right, but also at the same time, it's one of those things that was like, you know, it was almost like, it was like a, you know, it's meant to be kind of thing in a way, because of the fact that if I didn't go through that stuff, if I didn't get put through that, I may have never met them. I may never have, you know, met Jake or, you know, my friends that I have now. So for me, it definitely does suck that I went through it, but also I'm kind of grateful because, you know, I got to meet, you know, some of the best friends that I'll probably be friends with for the rest of my life, honestly enough.
Well, I'm glad, I'm really glad, and well done for telling that. I think it'll feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, like I said, to anybody out there that is going through that situation, just know that there is help out there. There are groups on Facebook. There are groups on, you know, all, you know, lines of, you know, social media, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, even here on YouTube. I ran across a few communities here on YouTube myself that, you know, you guys can reach out to and speak to people about. And I know it's hard, but trust me, once you speak about it and you talk about what goes on, trust me, you will feel 100 times better. Like, you will feel like the weight has been lifted. Like, I know it's hard, but just know that these groups that you do contact, they're not there to judge you. Like, they're there to help you. And that's something that I think that is very important, that anybody that gets victimized needs to have is a good support system. If they need counseling or therapy, there is counselors that can help. There are therapists that can help. Like I said, I got fortunate enough. I had people that, you know, I was able to speak with, and I did do a couple months of, you know, counseling for a friend of mine that actually was in school to be a counselor. So, like, I was able to talk to them about it and, you know, what was going on, and they were able to help me through it. And I feel like because of it, you know, I became a stronger person in the long run because of it. So,
did it affect any relationships going forward that you have?
Not really. Like, it didn't really affect me like a lot of people would think. Like, it didn't really affect me in that way, like most would think that it would. But like, what did affect me, you know, obviously, which I have spoken about, which even you know about, that I've spoken about many times before on my last few channels, including this one, is, you know, the abuse situation was mental abuse and verbal abuse. That did affect me to a certain extent. Like, that definitely did, you know, have an last game that, I've just very recently, ironically enough, when me and you got together, ironically enough, like that started to, go away, and I'm starting to realize, like, hey, I can like go with this, I can do my stuff, I don't have to worry anymore, it's all good.
Time over.
I do with, the rest of my stuff, how I tell people about,
Cyrus, how are you not so pissed though at that school? I think it's insane. You should have never been expelled.
Nice, dude.
We tried, and that's the thing.
Hold on. How you doing, buddy?
Select your hero. Select your assist tag. Select your assist tag. Playtime is ended. Who will survive? Engage.
Damn, dude. Cyclops is a beast.
I just can't believe it. You're amazing. Select your hero. Select your assist type. Playtime is ended. Get ready to kick butt. Engage.
That was pretty good, dude. Wait, oh, come on.
Select your heroes.
Yeah, good games. Alright, I gotta go.